Can I start with your new contract?
You can.
Was extending your stay ever in doubt?
Not particularly, no. The new ownership made it clear as soon as they came in on their first meeting via Zoom at that time, actually. They wanted me to be part of it. I explained then, excuse me, a very challenging season last season. Started this season, actually, but a very challenging season last season. I explained that I felt that the team was first and, you know, to clear the situation out, I felt it was best that we secured our Premier League status, which we did. And then really talks been ongoing, very open, with mainly with Alan, about the situation, and then tidying up at the end through lawyers like you generally have to do with these contracts. So, yeah, it was never particularly in doubt, to be honest. It was very probable from the offset.
And what are your aims and ambitions for the next 4 years then? Where would you like the club to be?
Well, I think we're trying to reshape the squad over the next few windows because it's something that I tried to put in process under the last board wasn't easy. So we're kind of playing catch up a little bit. So we're in the process of doing that, and Alan and all the new ownership group are aware of that. That takes a bit of time, but we've certainly made what I think is a good start with the signings we've made. Kind of changing altering the age sort of band that the group's working in, whilst also believing in the group because I think we've got a strong group. So layering up the squad size and quality, not only for the now but also for what comes next. Whilst lots of changes at the club in general, but really the business changes are more down to Alan and the team. It's not really my domain. I do get asked my opinion in it, but I certainly don't run the office side of thing and the way that side of thing works. But certainly that's what we're hoping to achieve moving forwards on the pitch, is continue developing the team, continue to add where we think is necessary and quality where we can, but also players who we think can develop and continue what we do at Burnley Football Club and improve it, of course.
And presumably you still feel you've got a lot more to offer, like you've got a lot more to do and to achieve?
Well, you've always got a lot more to do. It's not, football never stands still. It doesn't wait for anyone. You've got to react to what's happening in football. I think there's still different kinds of achievements at this club. It's not always easy. You're talking about some clubs, you talk about winning leagues and stuff. It's not easy in the Premier League to get near them clubs at the moment. But continuing the Premier League, continue to keep the club in good health, continuing to mature as a club in the Premier League are all parts of it. We've done that well so far. We've had a challenging start to the season, but that can happen. It's happened to us before. So we need to correct that for sure. But beyond that, we're looking at not necessarily the bigger picture as in, 5 years, but we're certainly looking at, year one going into year two. And that's why we brought the players in who we think can continue the development of the team and their own development, of course.
And looking at the weekend, how's the injury news? Anyone to come back?
Nathan Collins should be back in amongst it. Kevin Long come through 90 minutes in the week, but still got a bit of a way to go to true match fitness. Connor Roberts had his first run out for 45 minutes, so they're on their way back. Dale Stevens is still a bit further behind that, but they are showing good signs of getting back to full fitness, and the rest should be fine.
And Maxwell Cornet, is he match ready yet?
Well, I don't know about match ready, but he's certainly, don't forget, he's been playing. So the Premier League is different physically. We've had our testing protocols, which we do with every player, and he fared reasonably well, but there's still a little bit more to go and getting used to the group. So he's certainly available, as you saw the other night. But, pitching him in at the right time is important. I've said many times, we're here to make these players, not break them. So it's got to be appropriate when he plays, why he's playing, how he figures, and his understanding of the team. His English is still pretty limited, but he's fitted into the group well, comes in with a smile, wants to join in, wants to train. So all good signs so far.
You touched on it there. It's obviously early days, but no win in your first 4 games. Are you concerned at all by that?
Well, concern's a funny word. I mean, I'm aware of it, quite obviously. The performances have been pretty reasonable, if not better than that, actually. The detail within them has let us down a couple of times, and that's been the difference, at both ends of the pitch, because we've created enough chances. I'm pretty pleased with that side. I think early last season we did have a lot of injuries, but we weren't really creating much. I think we are creating. We've just let some, what I would say, unfamiliar moments, not just the individual moment for a goal, but sort of spells of 5 or 6 minutes, 7 or 8 minutes, and they've cost us. And, that's not like us. So I think that focus and attention to our performances has to run throughout the whole game. That being said, it's kind of a bit of a trade-off because I think we were a bit unfortunate against Leeds, and the other games we've fared pretty well in actually and delivered pretty decent performances. But I've never been naive enough to know what you need, and that's points on the table.
Your side's tackling has come into the spotlight a little bit. Jurgen Klopp and Rafa Benitez not happy. What have you made of that?
Well, I've made exactly what I've said for years about tackling the game. The physicality in the game has always been there. The last few years it hasn't been there. I think generally fans are enjoying there's a bit more physicality. We're on about anything untoward. Them days have gone. We're just on about a bit more desire to win the ball, to tackle, to fight your corner, to do what's needed within a performance. I don't think there's any drama to it whatsoever, personally. It's a strange thing, actually. There's a couple of tackles that have been brought up and almost, a lot of noise about it. And yet I've been going on about people diving all over the place for years and hardly any noise about it. So go figure. Don't know which is worse. Well, I do know which is worse. I'd prefer children around the world to stop diving than I would now and again they put a tackle in, to be honest.
Do you think managers are trying to negate one of your side's strengths?
I don't know. Every manager will have their own view. I respect every manager at every level. I know how tough the job is. I've never questioned managers' views on me or the team particularly. I recently questioned somewhat Jurgen Klopp's comments, but I don't think it was untoward what I questioned. I thought it was a fair view. I try and give a fair view. And managers have their view. If people want to, form other opinions from their views and take that further, that's often down to the media. That's not down to me.
And in terms of this weekend, Arsenal have developed a reputation for not liking the physical side of the game in recent years. Is that something you feel you can exploit?
No, not at all. We've never felt that with any team. I just want the team to play really hard and really fair. That's all. Against anyone we play against. Doesn't matter who we're playing against. The same rules apply. Just be fair. Just get on with it. I think it was our 97th game without a red card. Must be tragically ugly. Must be really tough, I think. 97 games without a red card. If you think about it rationally, that's pretty good going.
What do you make of Arsenal at the moment, though? Struggled at the start of the season. They got the first goal and their first win last weekend, but before that, it's been pretty tough for them. Good time to play them?
They're still a good side. They've still got talent. They're obviously a club in a large transition from management points of view and player points of view. Look, it's very difficult. It's difficult at all levels. There is a higher expectation, quite obviously, at clubs like Arsenal. We all know why. They have spent a lot of money. They are trying to develop a similar but different style. There's a lot of challenges there. We still don't take the fact that they've had a tough start for granted. Trust me, they're a good side. They've got some really strong individual players. They're trying to bond it together as a team. We've got to continue looking at what we do. I'm not here to worry about Arsenal or any other team. We've had a tough start ourselves. We've got to make sure we're turning what I think have been reasonable, if not better performances, but we've got to turn them into results. It's simple as that.
Under Arteta, they haven't beaten you. Does that give you confidence? Does that give you a slight edge?
The last one doesn't guarantee the next one. All it does is mean that you are capable. So we know we're a capable side against... Well, certainly to be competitive in this division. So that's our key focus, to remain competitive. And as I said, the details are important. Turn them details the right way and all of a sudden you're winning games.
Thanks, Sean. Good luck for the weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks, James. Simon Crabtree, PLP.
Hi, Sean. Congratulations on the contract.
Thank you.
What in reality changes when you put pen to paper? Can it be unsettling when the manager gets into that last season of the contract? We've seen it at other clubs. Has it been the way at Burnley, or because of the confidence that you've mentioned, has everybody just cracked on as normal as can be?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything unsettling, or not for me. I've been working as hard as I ever do here, and I think my staff have. I think the players have been. The only thing I would say is maybe the agents and the players' agents maybe wonder, is he staying, is he going, and that sort of thing. But I don't think that's unsettling. I think that's just part of the business, part of the industry we're in.
As far as, I know you touched upon it, the Everton game, that 7 minutes that couldn't have been more Burnley-like in terms of, well, I'll leave the words for you to describe what it was like. But have you addressed that specifically this week?
No, not particularly, because it's happened twice, but in twice in recent times. But when you look across a long period, it is unfamiliar. So, a little bit of a lack of concentration, a lack of focus, a lack of work in transition, which we know the Premier League is increasingly about. But the players here are open, they're honest, they're a wise group, and continue to get wiser through the challenge of the Premier League. They know as well as I do. I reminded them on a few things, showing them a few things that I thought were relevant. From the game. the balance of the details. We created some very good chances. We had at least a fair feel of the game at Everton, which is not easy to do when you're away from home. We had a penalty not given, which in my view is a definite penalty on James Tarkowski. So, some things are going against us. We want them to come back our way, of course. But we still like to think we can control our own situations and our own performances and in turn wins. So that's the main focus. But there are a couple of other things that don't get a mention that do affect the outcome of a game.
Hello Clarets fans, Phil Bird here. Make sure you subscribe to Burnley's official YouTube channel and turn on notifications, otherwise you might miss moments like this. Oh, what a goal! And Wood was there to finish it! We hope you enjoyed the video and we look forward to seeing you at the next one. Up the Clarets.